decided to keep the frog togs on because it's so chilly out here. They're actually keeping my legs kind of warm. Here is the brain of a fisherman. I just got home, I don't know, maybe an hour ago. I went to check the weather forecast just for the heck of it. It has changed for tomorrow. I told myself, if it's going to reach at least 58, 59, I think I'll go fishing. Open the weather up, 69 degrees tomorrow. Ooh, 6 mile an hour winds. Tell you what, that sounds pretty good. So I'm loading the selvin up and we're taking off. See if I can't do any good. You know, springtime, like any other season, goes by so fast. If I'm going to try to catch some of these big bass in the spring, I need to take every chance I can and get out there and introduce myself to those guys swimming around down below. But it's about 5 a.m. heading down the interstate, heading east to Celina Lake. I hope it goes okay, but I do have rain gear. Bring your rain gear along, your life jacket, maybe a lunch, and your fishing poles. We're going fishing. All right, pulling into the Hoosier National Forest, Celina Lake's recreational area. Got here to Celina Lake. It's a little bit chilly. It's damp. And it looks like to me like there's probably some rain up here, you know, about an hour and a half east of where the cabin is. And so the forecast is a little different here. So far this year, the beginning of 2024, I haven't had to worry about any weeds at all. I can even launch the boat and not even use that paddle to get out on the water. But now I can tell the water level is starting to drop. Now they may be doing that on purpose just for the spring rain. You know, if you watch my last video, when I was out in that high wind, and I was sitting there fishing, and all of a sudden the selvin got blown into a stump, and it kind of threw me back. That's what I really like about this top. I've noticed a lot of times that this top offers me like a little handrail up here, a little balancing point. So anytime I need to grab it, left, right, it's pretty nice. I'd highly recommend, if you have a boat like this, to go ahead and get you a bimini top on it, because it's kind of like a little bit of security, a little bit of a handrail to hold on to. Not to mention the sunshade. I mean, I can't imagine being out here as long as I am, sometimes out here for 12 hours in the sun the entire time. Now, the one thing that's a little disappointing today is that the water temperature here at Celina Lake last week, the beginning of last week, was about 55 to 58 degrees, which is pretty good. But now I noticed coming here, there's a site you can get onto. It's called monster.com. They monitor all the lakes in your area. And I noticed that it's showing now again 47 to 52. You know, not the best thing. You know, it's my understanding, you know, I follow intuitive angling, and that water temperature means so much when these bass come out and start to what they call the pre-spawn. Come out of the deep waters into the shallows and looking for places to spawn. You want that water temperature about 55 to 60 degrees to really, for the fish to start getting active. Well, here in southern Indiana, the exact opposite has happened. It went up to 55 to 58. Now it's dropped back down into the high 40s. We've really had a cold week. Temperatures, you know, dropping into the upper 20s and 30s and lower 30s at night, and only around mid 50s in the daytime. chilly north wind blowing. It's what it is. So we'll see what happens today. You know, this time of year, I'm learning, don't necessarily expect a lot of fish to be biting. Don't expect to be any kind of a feeding frenzy, but you never know. Still may hook one or two. Get the selvin all set up, put the hip waders on. We're going to get on out there, see what happens. All right, I have a feeling that today is going to be a little bit of a challenge. This rain is kind of settled in right now. It's the rain's all over the lake right now. You can hear it hitting the top. Once again, the Bimini top. Boy, it's like having an umbrella up here, so that's really nice. I've got a rain suit here. I got a Frog Togs rain suit, so I'm not really that concerned about it. What's really hard to deal with is camera equipment. If the rain really picks up, I'll have to take some plastic bags and cover up this camera. I'll have to cover up my dash cam, which I don't have set up, and I'm not going to set it up right away. It's really vulnerable to get wet. I'm not so sure it'd take any moisture at all. And I've got my other camera and stuff stuck underneath the console here. So anyways, it is a challenge. Hey, the nice thing is, so far, I'm the only one out here, which, you know, that makes sense. I'm probably the only one crazy enough to come out on a day like today. It's only like 45 degrees right now with rain, so, you know, that's a pretty bad. But it's supposed to get 68 degrees today, so it's going to warm up. I don't like the winds. They're talking about 14-mile-an-hour gusts. And here on Celina Lake or Indian Lake, that probably equates to about 18 to 20, what I'm finding out. It's just like crazy how windy it is. Anyways, okay, so I got everything set up, ready to go. So I think I'm going to go ahead and launch the selvin, get on out there, park in a cove. Hey, I've got my umbrella right here. I'll be fine. Throw a line in, you never know. The big bass, today may be the day. We'll see. Couple things that I do when I launch a boat. I learned this from people on YouTube, and I'm just going to pass it on to you. But when you launch your boat, you got to remember, you can't make any mistakes, and you definitely don't want to get caught in your vehicle in case the brakes go out, the boat pulls you into the water, whatever happens. You can look at YouTube and you'll see a lot of videos on vehicles that ended up in the drink because something went terribly wrong. These are a few safety precautions that I'll take with the Jeep Liberty or any vehicle that I'm driving. I'm going to launch a boat. First of all, I do not want to wear my seatbelt. But if I don't wear my seatbelt, what's going to happen is it's going to be dinging, dinging, dinging the whole time. So I'll go ahead and click it on and put it behind me. But I do not want to put my seatbelt on. Second thing I'll do is I will roll down my windows. I roll all 4 of them down. All 4 of the windows come down, and that way there, if something catastrophic would happen, I got a way out. I don't have to worry about trying to bust a window and get out. And besides that, you know, I'll put it in 4-wheel drive. I will use my emergency brake and just kind of go from there. All right, let's see if we can't float the selvin. The water's a little bit lower. This is going to kind of start to create a little bit of a problem. Hopefully it's high enough, it's still going to be okay. You don't want to drive your trailer off the concrete ramp as it goes into the water. The back of the selvin is not floating right now. So as I take it in, deeper and deeper, what will happen is you'll see the back of the selvin start to float. And there it goes right there. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit further back. I usually put my fenders underwater. The selvin is floating now. Now we're ready to go. So make sure emergency brake's on. I put it in park. Now, I always leave my vehicle running too. I've heard that's a good idea. Try to get back in there and your vehicle won't start. So there you go. There is the selvin floating with the Jeep. It's coming up on the tire, just barely hitting the rim. Water level seems to be pretty good so far. The selvin is floating on the back. You can see I can push it back and forth. So at that point right there, I'll come up here and I'll undo my safety hook. And then on my winch, go ahead and flip the switch. Now, as I start to crank it down, there goes the selvin. Now I've got my rope right here, and that's what I'll end up grabbing, and that's the leash that I'll use as the selvin goes out, and then you'll see I'll pull it around the trailer and bring it back in. I'm not sure I can do it one-handed, but I'll give it a shot. So let's go ahead and let some more of the strap out. I like to let enough of it out so whenever I dock it, whenever I come back in, it's going to be okay, and I don't have to struggle with it, and it's long enough. All right, so then here's my rope, and I guess I'm gonna have to put my camera up for a second just to make sure, because if I make a mistake here, the selvin floats on out there, and then I'd have to wait for somebody else to come by to take me a ride out there to get the selvin. Selvin's got to get lonely, I would imagine. Okay, so you can see the selvin has floated way out there. I got to get the rope over this white tube. There we go. Now it's just a matter of pulling the selvin back in. Come on, selvin. Oh, that's good. Come on. Come on back to shore. There we go. So you can see on a calm day, this is pretty easy to do. But boy, a couple of those windy days, man, it was rough. Okay, so the selvin is secure. I'll take the Jeep Liberty now and go park it. He'll settle in for the day, and we'll be ready to get out there. You know, today matches that saying so well. There's nothing you can do about the weather, but you can dress to enjoy it. And that's exactly what's going on. It's chilly out here. Now, it was raining. The rain seemed to have stopped now. It looks like the perfect day. I'm kind of surprised nobody else is out here. But you know, a lot of people might just wait until this weather moves off, it gets sunny, and then it'll come out later on, you know, this morning sometime. Miss Liberty, you hang out. So I always make sure my camera gear, I get it out, because you never know what's going to happen out here. Last time I was out here, that military helicopter, that Chinook, come by. If I wouldn't have had my camera gear ready, I would have never caught it, because I mean, he come thumping by. That was beautiful. The wind is blowing from the northeast. So that's going to be a little interesting, because most of the time the wind's blowing from the southwest. So if I do head to the other side of the lake, I'm going to be working against the wind coming back. So I'll have to pay attention to that. I think it's supposed to circle around here to the southeast by afternoon. I'll come over here and I'll get close to the bay. Right now I've got the trolling motor on number 5, which cruises pretty daggone good across the lake. But I'll shut her down about 3, and I'll just creep in here, drop an anchor, take my frog togs off, just get the boat organized, get all my fishing rods out, get them all ready to go. But whenever I get to the bay, I just kind of settle in, get set up. If I've scared any fish on the way in, I think that they probably forget that I'm there. Still rain clouds coming in. You can see that. I think that's going to be a constant all day. I actually modified my net holder. I put that pedestal in there. Showed you that pedestal on the last video, the video before that I mounted. I thought that would hold the net. But the net was still a little bit too far out, and it kind of got in my way. So what I did was I ended up putting a piece of PVC pipe right here, mounted it to the gunnel. It goes down to the floor. I think it's a 4-inch piece. Put my net in there. There we go. Look how it's all the way up against the gunnel right there. And ready to go. In fact, I can see I'm going to move this, because that one video, the net got stuck on a rod holder and I almost missed that fish because of it. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and cruise the other side to my favorite little bay over there. Fish it first. I always like to fish it first. If nobody's there, I'll throw a line in. If no good, then I think I want to go all the way to the other end and fish this area that's got a lot of logs, a lot of trees sticking out of the water. It's been a long time since I kind of really fished that area. It's kind of there where the big rocks were, where the geese and all the eagle and everything was on that last video. Yeah, that wind is blowing from the north. That's interesting. Don't see that much right this time of year. Couple things I just remembered. I want to go ahead and put my ladder down just in case something happens. I'll be able to get back into selvin. I think I'm going to leave my life jacket off. It's nice and calm out here. I know a lot of people say, no matter what, put your life jacket on. I kind of need one of those ones with just that inflate, because I think that way there, you put it on, you don't even notice you have it on. I'll set my anchor up and then get everything ready to go before I throw that first line in. Keep the frog togs on because it's so chilly out here. They're actually keeping my legs kind of warm. I've thrown a green pumpkin creature. I think I got one hit. It was kind of funny because the rod I was using, the samurai, it kind of made a sound like that real loud. I think it was a line hitting. By the time I pulled it, he was gone. He must have hit it pretty fast and let go. And then I just threw the suspending jerk bait and didn't do any good on it either. So, shit, I only threw it maybe, I don't know, maybe a dozen times, 2 dozen times at the most. It is chilly out here. Probably can't hear it on the camera, but it's starting to sprinkle a little bit. Got a couple big boats that have come out. I guess that guy right there must have went around the corner. Got a real big bass boat out here with the outriggers on the back. I got to figure out what those are called with the big arms in the back. Out there, or wacky worm, kind of like just throw it out there and let it sink down. And then a lot of times this time of year, the fish really will hit that thing hard. Remember, everything is based on the temperatures getting warmer and the water getting warmer. And right now it's going in the opposite direction. 47 degrees, 48 degree water and stuff. Fish may just be not active at all. Glad you came along. We're just going to keep on trying and see what we can do. Getting maybe a little warmer out here. I've probably been out here a couple hours already. Started sprinkling just a little bit ago. My frog tog waders on for a while because they were kind of keeping my legs warm. But what I found is they're not near as comfortable standing in as they are my brooks. I thought I'd go ahead and put my brooks back on. When it's chilly like this and you're out, the fish aren't really biting. I think maybe I've had a couple bites. It's hard to tell. It's turned out to be one of those kind of uncomfortable days, you know, because it's chilly enough and it's damp enough that it's, I don't know, maybe I should be dressed a little bit warmer. That might help. These are merino wool socks, and I actually got them out of the drawer, and I thought, maybe those will be too heavy today. I don't know, being 68, and I almost put them back. I'm glad I didn't because they're keeping my feet nice and warm. Tell you what, you come out on an adventure like this, you just never know, you know, what the forecast says, and then it's totally different once you get out here. And that wind is just, boy, it's just cold. It's icy cold. So I'm going to fish this bay a little bit longer, and I think I'm going to head on to the south end and fish a couple bays down there. Everybody else, and I don't see anybody really catching any fish or anything. Hard to tell. A lot of times people can be pretty quiet when they catch a fish too. They don't want everybody to know, shh, I caught a fish. Right, fishing report. So far, no fish in the boat. Maybe, just maybe a few bites. So it's just one of them things. Just talked to a couple fishermen. We were talking about how the water temperature has dropped. It hasn't really warmed up today. It's probably getting close to noon, and it's still chilly out here. It's got to be down in the lower 50s still. And the little rain showers keep coming in. So anyways, I'm heading to the other side of the lake. Going to fish this big cove with these sunken trees in it and see if I can't do some good. Hey, we're gone fishing. Yeah, the rain continues to come down. Cold, damp day out in the Hoosier National Forest. There's the resident eagle. Okay, fishing report. It's lunchtime, maybe even a little after. No fish in the boat. Just a couple little bites. Talked to two fishermen that were on a pretty good sized boat. They said that they've had 3 fish in the boat. Small bass in the boat. It doesn't sound like it's a real biting kind of day, but hey, the fish are biting some. It never really warmed up. It's still, this wind is coming now from the east, southeast. It seems to be picking up quite a bit, and it's just not getting any warmer, and these rain showers just keep coming by. You can see right up in here, that's probably one right there that's heading my way right now. I'm glad I got these frog togs with me, this frog tog rain suit, because even if it's not raining, it totally blocks the wind. Out here. I don't know. Been trying a little frog for a while. Not doing any good. Gonna switch off to something else. Zoom super crawl. I don't know if you can tell, but it's raining pretty good right now. Nothing's kind of going right. Nothing's really smooth. You know, we're all gonna have days like this, right? I think that's the thing about fishing that you gotta really watch, is I think a lot of times, boy, you get excited to go fishing and you get out there in anticipation that you're going to catch something, and then all of a sudden nothing happens, you know, hour after hour. You got to be careful, because it's really twists your mind. It really starts messing with you a little bit, you know. So I got to tell myself constantly that I'm out here just to have fun, photograph wildlife, to be out on the selvin, you know, to just relax. And then if I catch some fish, it's always a good thing. I'm not going to give up. Right now, it is noon, and it's looking slim as far as the fish goes. Of course, I'm in no hurry. You know, I can stay out here another 4 or 5 hours. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one left on the lake out here. That's why, I don't know why I do that, but so now I put my life jacket on. I probably should, when the water's this cold, you know, monster.com is showing the water's at 48 degrees. That's just, you know, it got up to almost 55, and then boom! Last week was really cold, this week was cold, and it just dropped to nothing. Chasing a little duck away. Little duck wasn't hurting a thing. That goose is coming right at that little duck. Little duck's holding his ground. All right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look out. Huh? Oh, look at the little duck. He's gonna get out of here, goose boy. Look, he chased them both away. That's awesome. Now that's a brave little duck. Well, the little duck chased away the 2 geese. That was pretty cool. All kind of stuff happens out here. This is their own little world. They have conflict just like we do as humans. Yeah, if you look at that last video I just put out, man, last time I was right here, it was so windy, it was incredible. That's where the Selvin got blown into that stump and almost knocked me out of the boat right here. I'm gonna shut her down, drift in here, and maybe we'll do some good. Fisherman is always optimistic that the next cast is the one that'll land the big bass. Big bass. Well, I spoke a little early. I see some raindrops starting again. Not bad, just real light. All right, guess what Mr. Lawrence caught? That's right, a nice bass. Woo, that's a nice one right there. Wow, barely hooked too. If I wouldn't have had that hook on the side of this creature rather than through it, he probably would have never hooked on. Wow. Fish in the boat. We have a fish in the boat. Pretty nice one. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We caught it on a blue sapphire creature. All right, buddy. I appreciate it. See you later. He's gone. Now that fish didn't seem near as cold as the one I've caught last week. When I got it out of the water, it was just like an ice cube. That fish didn't feel as cold. Well, I'm glad to catch that fish. Caught that on a blue sapphire creature with a little bullet weight on it. I guess I'm going to continue to throw it. I came all the way down the dam right here, throwing a spinner, a blue and black spinner. Didn't do any good. No bites. I had just switched back over to the blue sapphire creature. Bam. After about 3 or 4 throws, got him. I guess I'm going to go ahead and head on down this shore. I'll probably back up here just a little bit. This to me looks like it would be a real good spawning area. The way the bank comes down at a very slight angle, and it's right here in this corner, protected corner. You know, that might have been like a pre-spawn. It felt like it was very heavy in the belly. Maybe that was eggs. I don't know for sure. I don't know that much about fish to know how you can tell if they're pregnant or not, or if they've got eggs in them or not. I hope if it was a female, I hope she puts a lot of little babies out here for generations to come. Catch them big bass. Yeah, I think Randy Blockett's 100% right about how to hook those. You know, here's the creature I caught it on right here. And I've done very well with this creature right here. I think it's a Zoom speed crawl. And I've done very well with the sapphire color. Also the green pumpkin watermelon color. Is a lot of people will take this hook right here and they'll run it through the creature and out the back. What Randy was saying is don't do that because you'll miss a lot of fish. I've been taking this hook right here and just barely sticking it through the side. I mean, it's just a front, not even hardly the barb is in there, just a point in the side like that. And like he was saying, when a fish comes up and grabs it, whether they bite down enough to smash the plastic to get hooked, when it's on the side like that, it almost always comes loose and grabs them. Now that fish right there was barely hooked. I'm kind of surprised, as big as it was, I got it in the boat. One thing that helped was I was using my new Lew's ultralight reel and rod. I think once I realized I had him, I was able to bring him in pretty fast. If I'd have been on one of my Zebcos, I don't know. He might have got off. That's the first fish in the boat today. I've had quite a few bites. I've been throwing a frog, throwing a green pumpkin. I've been throwing spinners. Oh! It's not very windy, but if you don't pay attention, it'll blow you right up against that bank right there. So anyways, I caught a smaller one, about half the size that one I just did, on the blue sapphire again. But the thing was, when I started reeling him in, I noticed that I was reeling a little bit too fast, and he was like coming across the water like he was skiing. So I thought, okay, better slow it down, don't want to yank it out of his mouth. Well, when I slowed it down, guess what? He got off. So I probably would have been better off to keep that speed up and just put him right on in the boat. Just let him jump right on in the boat and take care of it from there. I consider that 2 caught and 1 in the boat. Actually, 2 hooked and 1 in the boat. That's funny, I was calling to just one, and then another one started calling. I guess I got jealous that I was talking to this one. I don't know. Probably started a family squabble. You win. You win, brother. Yeah! All right. The creature strikes again. All right. The creature strikes again. I fished this little cove right here probably 24 times with the blue sapphire. No bites. Switched to the green pumpkin. Bam jam. Nice little bass. Woo! Woo! Look at that. About the same size. Now see this one here. See this bass here is not heavy in the belly. That other one was very heavy in the belly. This one is not. That's pretty interesting. I'm going to have to get me some scales. I'm thinking this guy goes 1.5 pounds. Maybe 2 pounds. I don't know. That other one was heavier. All right, buddy. Thank you. Whoa. Bass are biting. All right, see you later. Choo! I like when they take off. That one was funny that I caught last year. He went down in the water, turned around, come back up, and went back down again. It's like, maybe he was cussing me out or something. I don't know. You're out here saying, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you letting me go. All right. Doing all right today. That's 2 bass. That's 2 nice bass, and hooked that other one. Didn't get it in here. It was smaller, but that's the key right there. If something's hitting and all of a sudden you stop getting bites on it, just switch up colors and try the same thing and see if it works. There's a good example right there. Blue sapphire coming down on this side right here was doing good. Got in this bay, nothing. Put the green pumpkin on there, 2 or 3 casts, bam. Big bass. All right. So I think I'm going to stay here for just a little longer. If not, I always think when you catch a bass like that in a small cove like this, the rest of them freak out. The rest of them go, holy crap, did you see what happened to that dude? Let's get out of here. And they all take off. I don't know. That might be overthinking it, but I just think that. I'll throw it a few more times. If I don't do any good, we're going to the next cove. Yeah. Good birthday gift. This is a nice little place right here. A lot of times fish, especially in the spring, they're starting to come up from the deep and they're coming in towards shore right here. Throw my lure in and run it right past those bushes right there. Fish that little cove right there, and then there's another cove coming up, and there's about 10 more on this side of the lake. I'm out having a birthday party, birthday party. Out having a birthday party, birthday party. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, dog. Woo! Catching no fish. Yeah! Wow! Wow! Holy smoke! Holy smoke! Man, oh man! Look at the size of this guy right here. Look at the size of that fish. Holy cow. Look at the size of this guy right here. Look at the size of that fish. Holy cow. Woo! Man, oh man, that is a nice fish right there. Here's a question for you anglers. How come his tail's all red at the bottom? Has that got something to do with mating? Can you see that? At the bottom there, his tail's all red. He's giving me the eyeball. He's going, man, buddy, that's fine. Put me back in. Ha! Wow, that is so awesome. That is great. Now here's another thing I'm noticing. Take a look. Take a look at his lips. See how red his lips are? The other one was like that too. And I didn't hook him in his lips. They're red for some reason. I don't know if they've been chewing on something. All right, I'll let him go. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. That's a nice bass right there. Woo! See you later. I know. Woo! He gone. Wow. Oh my. That water is so cold. Wow. It's a pretty good day of fishing. This is coming close to matching my all-time great day of fishing out here. Wow. Boom, baby. Green pumpkin crawl. Got him. All right. Once again, barely hooked. So easy to pop it out. It's just, I just got a feeling if I would have that hook through the middle, coming out the back of the creature, I'm not so sure I would have caught him. That's Randy Blockett, Intuitive Angling. It was one that gave me that advice. Hook it, barely hook it in the side. That way when they grab it, it's going to hook them. I think that's pretty good advice. You know, you take the speed crawl or any kind of plastic like this that has the salt in it, impregnated with salt, you just take it like this and just take your knife and just run it on there like that. Turn on the other side, run it over it. And you can literally see how much salt kind of comes out of it. It just works that salt out to the edge, kind of roughs it up a little bit so it doesn't look like it's brand new. I don't know why a fish would care, but I guess, you know, any creatures that are down here probably been pretty beat up swimming around anyway, so it might help looking a little beat up like that. Oh, it's a good day of fishing, my friend. Good day of fishing, my friend. Good day of fishing. Good day of fishing, good day of fishing, my friend. Yeah, not every day is a good day of fishing, but it's always a good day because you're out fishing. All right, time to move on. Probably got to put the selvin on the trailer in about an hour or so. So I'm going to call that a pretty good day of fishing right there. I learned that a long time ago. As a photographer, and especially once I started my YouTube channel, you can't get upset if you miss a shot. You know, something happens and you don't get it on film. You just gotta let it go. You can't capture everything. And you know, even with the YouTube shorts that I put out, you know, a lot of times I'll see something that's like, oh man, I got to get that on film. But you know, I've learned just be careful and don't put other people in danger trying to get that shot that you want. I sent a picture to two of my daughters this morning. We were talking back and forth, and I told them I gave myself an early birthday present by going fishing today. I sent them a picture of me in the Selvin, and my one daughter Briley wrote back and said, "Cool sunglasses, Dad." Well, there's a story behind them. These are actually vintage 1970 something Jensen's. I got them from my father-in-law a long time ago. He gave them to me, and I said, well, thank you very much, and I really never wore them. Yeah, that's the YouTube creator in me. Right in the middle of a story, and I see some ducks, a flock of ducks going by, and I said, hold on a second, I gotta get them. Anyways, he gave them to me, and I think they are super cool. But I decided to go ahead and wear them today. Special day, I thought I'd wear them. They're wraparounds. I mean, they're like the true wraparounds. So, I hope you like them. They're kind of stylish, I think. They kind of remind me of something Elvis might wear. I don't know. Thank you for coming along. I really appreciate it. It's been a great day. Suffered this morning. Cold, rainy. Kind of got down a little bit, catching no fish, no bites, and all of a sudden, wham! Thank you, Great Spirit. Gave me a great day of fishing for my early birthday present. Thanks for coming by. That's LAF Space Film Fest. Capital LAF Space Film Fest. Hammer down that subscribe button if you would. Helps me to come out here on my pre-birthday day and catch some fish. And now I get to show them to you. Yep. I feel good about hanging in there and not quitting and going home. Which could have done, I guess. Going hiking with the family tomorrow. Maybe I'll come up with something like that. A small video on that. I don't know for sure. What I do know is I appreciate you coming by. Yeah, that was a nice jet going over right there. That was an Air Force jet, and it was a big jet too. I don't know if it was a bomber, could have been a tanker, but it was pretty high. I probably couldn't have filmed him anyways because he was going in and out of the clouds pretty high up. But that's pretty cool. But I like that about Celina Lake is you'll see a lot of military. Well, last time I was here, that Chinook helicopter flew right over. I mean, that was just so sweet. Oh, Rickenbaugh House. Cool. The Rickenbaugh House. Bring your family. Look at the signs and stuff. Very, very interesting how that was built. Cut the stones out of the cliffs behind the house back there, carried them up, horse and wagon, and put each one together one by one. There we go. I was just talking about how interesting the Rickenbaugh House is. There's some people just pulled up and reading the signs. Those signs have a lot of information on them. Yeah, it is pretty early. Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And didn't do any good, and then I came out last week and caught one, but I was still happy with the one because a lot of guys out here, a lot of boats, they're not doing anything. So I'm always happy.
Did you check in?
What's that?
Oh yeah.
Is this the first time you've been here?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay. And it's LAF Space Film Fest, and Yeah, I do like the fishing video is going great right now. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay. Thanks a lot. Yeah. What was your name? Chuck. Nice to meet you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was kind of wondering what the other fishermen were going to do, but they all had rain suits on. Jackets, pants, hoods, everything. I figured it would be almost dark when I got put up. I'm always glad. I want to stay a little bit longer. Oh man, I got a light out. I popped that one bulb and now I popped another one. I don't have a spare with me either. Daggone it. Anyways, I'm always glad I pull off when I do. That way there, you know, I got spare time. For instance, right now I popped this bulb. I've got this bulb went bad on me. So that's why I like that big LED I have up there. I like that big LED strip just in case something like this happens, because you can see from behind I don't have a lot of light, so I better get going. Daggone it, pop that light. Yep, I bet that light bulb's bad. Well, you know, I replaced the one. I should have marked it down and replaced the other at the same time. When you do this kind of stuff, there's always something that's going to go wrong. You just got to deal with it, repair it, go on with it. I tell you what, I like to talk to the birds. I couldn't begin to talk to that guy. Holy cow, man, that guy's got... Meow, meow, meow. Wick, wick. Meow, meow. I wonder if he's got like language, or if he's just like whatever comes out of his brain, he lets her rip. He's funny. You know what kind of bird that is? Leave it in the comments. I thought it was a mockingbird. It is not a mockingbird. He's dark brown. Have a good day. Guess what Mr. Lawrence caught? That's right, a